Please hurry. Please, please.
Stay on the line with me, okay?
A high school senior shot to death inside his girlfriend's home.
Okay, how old is he?
He's 17 years old.
Weeks passed and a coroner got tired of waiting.
So what we had so far, I've told you, was a gunshot wound to a young man's head. The only way we were going to find out how it got there was for her to tell us. And so that's what she did.
Then a lie detector test gave birth to a confession and a girlfriend with a murder charge.
Why did you get these clothes?
They were supposed to be put into evidence.
A mother begins unraveling evidence she believes shows investigators mishandled her son's death investigation and started recording everything the sheriff's office told her.
Why?
Because the sheriff is a liar. He's lied the whole time.
A mother begins unraveling evidence she believes shows investigators mishandled her son's death investigation and started recording everything the sheriff's office told her.
You should have never got that phone back. That phone should have went straight to evidence.
I shouldn't have got his clothes and his cell phone.
Shouldn't. He should have went straight to sled the way he used to do it.
Things the sheriff's office didn't want told.
They don't pick apart the case, there's no doubt. And like I say, the news thing, that's why we decided not to talk to Jody anymore, and we wish we would have talked to him from the beginning. Wish we would have just kicked him out the door.
5 months after our investigation aired, the lead investigators resigned and the sheriff's office still refuses to discuss how it handled this case.
And now Caleb James's mother, in recorded calls, captured the sheriff admitting things did not happen as they should have in this case. Here's Chief Investigative Reporter Jody Barr with an update to our The Confession special report.
Jessica and Brandon Peavy watched as their son's girlfriend, Cassie Escobar, faced a judge in February. Just hours before, the Darlington County grand jury indicted Escobar on a murder charge, accusing her of murdering Caleb James, the Peavy's 18-year-old son. Peavy dried her tears and walked out of this court hearing.
Hey, I need to speak to the sheriff, please.
And marched right into the Darlington County Sheriff's Office.
The sheriff is here, he rode somebody to a training today. So if you want to set up a meeting, we can set it up.
Peavy says she went there to schedule a meeting with Sheriff James Hudson. She recorded this conversation with the sheriff's chief deputy, Chad McInville.
And I just have questions I need answered.
That's fine. Like I say, I wish we probably could talk about it before Jody does anything to hurt the case. Because I mean, I'm just me and you talking. I really believe it's going to do nothing to hurt the case. He's going to pick stuff apart, and Jody's not there for you. He's not there for anybody but a story. And they could hurt the case.
And these were his senior pants I got him.
Peavy told McInville she wanted answers. Why her son's cell phone wasn't logged into evidence.
The blood was from here up.
Why his bloody clothes were given back to her instead of the sheriff's evidence room. Why the investigator wouldn't take custody of the phone for weeks. And Peavy's concerns the sheriff's office wasn't supporting the prosecutor's decision to pursue a murder conviction.
Like I say, I do think, and I'll say it, and I think we told Jody the other day, him airing stuff, I think it's going to hurt more than it's going to help. I mean, it's my opinion. I've been doing this 23 years, so I think it's going to hurt more than it helps. And he's doing the defense's job. The defense's job is to pick apart things, and he's going to do it.
Chad, this office has pushed me under the rug for months.
I can imagine.
I'm the one that found his cell phone, and the coroner told me something wasn't right about this that night.
Well, nobody told us nothing wasn't right that night, but the cell phone, I wish it would have went. Most of the time with autopsies, you might remember we picked up autopsies, we take everything straight to sled.
That's part of it, Chad.
He didn't go to
it. Wasn't done right.
Like I shouldn't have got his clothes and his cell phone.
Shouldn't. He should have went straight to sled the way he used to do it. He used to.
I had to find all those messages, and I had to clean his bloody clothes, and I brought that phone here with the messages, and I begged somebody to look at them.
Dispatch Bravo 3. Subject has a gunshot wound to the head.
When deputies got to White Sands Circle in May of 2021.
Jennifer's on the phone advising her daughter's boyfriend just shot himself.
It was already too late to save Caleb James. The sheriff's office report shows Escobar told the investigator that James was playing with his gun and accidentally shot himself.
It can only get there one or two ways. Either he put it there or another person put it there. When I decided we would take a closer look at it, the things didn't add up to me. that it looked like he had taken his own life, that he had actually pulled the trigger. I didn't think he did.
Darlington County Coroner Todd Hardy says the autopsy showed a single bullet ripped through James's cheek and lodged in the base of his brain. Hardy believed someone shot Caleb James. The sheriff's office, Hardy says, disagreed and continued treating the case as a self-inflicted gunshot and closed the investigation days later, marking no follow-up investigation on the incident report. Hardy says he came up with a plan to end the standoff.
We asked her if we could, if she would agree to take a polygraph, and she did. She actually told us that she had shot this young man.
The Peavys didn't get that meeting with Sheriff James Hudson, but the following week, Jessica Peavy says Chief McInville told her the sheriff was working to get a gag order to prevent anyone involved in the case from talking about it with the media. The gag order never happened. Peavy decided she'd start recording her conversations with the sheriff's office.
My thing is that if you wouldn't have lied to me and all you had to say was I'm sorry, is if you do wrong, it's not hard to fix it. Just say I'm sorry and let's move forward. And I never got that from him.
And not only the clothes, but his cell phone, which might have held evidence, was also still in his pocket.
Yeah.
It was evidence the sheriff later admitted that she should have never gotten her hands on.
But I tried giving Heather the cell phone for weeks, and she wouldn't take it. She said that she had to get a warrant.
That's something else I've been hearing about too, that I'm trying to figure out. Why didn't she take the cell phone, and how did Miss Peavy get the cell phone back after it came back from the autopsy?
Yeah, because I should have never got it back. But I think my biggest
You
thing...
never got that back. That phone should have went straight to evidence. And some of the things that I'm hearing about, I'd have never done that. No phone, number one, corner or no corner, that phone should have went into evidence.
It should have.
For the sheriff of this department to tell you that he's just finding out things about this case that he never knew before, was that concerning?
It's bull.
On March 31st, 4 weeks after our confession report aired, lead investigator Heather Mays resigned. The sheriff never responded when we asked why. Neither did Heather Mays.
Okay, we've got to have a check made up to Darlington County Treasurer or cash.
The county charged us $81 for the investigator's personnel file. Inside was the resignation letter, which did not explain why investigator Heather Mays decided to resign. 1 week later, Heather Mays wrote this Facebook post after we messaged her asking the reason for her resignation. Mays wrote that our report wrongly portrayed her as incompetent, untrained, and all-around unqualified to work as an investigator. And Mays wrote she took to Facebook, where my words will remain my own and not change to fit your agenda. Peavy says she noticed 4 people reacted to the investigator's post. All 4, she says, had personal connections to Cassie Escobar.
Roommates, people who live with her, work with her, her family.
So you call the sheriff, and the sheriff tells you, as of that date, the date that the Facebook post was made, that investigator was no longer with the sheriff's office.
Yes, that's what he told me. He said, well, Miss Peavy, she's no longer employed with the sheriff's office, so there's nothing I can do about it. He said, no. He said, as of today, she's no longer employed with me.
But Mays' resignation letter shows her last day was April 14th, 6 days after Peavy called the sheriff. Peavy says someone sent her this video that appears to show Mays working a funeral detail. And she got even more evidence the next day.
I found out that was a lie. I was tipped off. People sent me messages and told me that they seen the investigator working in the county vehicle. So one day I was on my way to town and I passed her myself in the county vehicle. So I turned around, went by her home. She lives not far from me, and there she was standing on her porch in the county uniform with the county vehicle in her yard.
But he told you she was no longer employed.
He did.
Was that true?
No, that was far from the truth.
I asked Darlington County Sheriff James Hudson for an interview so he could answer these allegations. The sheriff never responded. Cassie Escobar remains free on a $25,000 bond with no court date set or any new filings entered in her case in the past 6 months.